So I just finished editing the first video that I uploaded earlier. This is the Crypto Talk series. This is episode 3, but part 2. So I tried making it one long video. I figured it was going to happen, but it just got to be way too long, 40 plus minutes. So I'm splitting this into 2 different videos for y'all. First one was uploaded earlier today on YouTube, and now you have part 2 here. This one, we're going to strictly talk about the DePin side of the subject of what's going on. Again, it's just a crypto talk BS type thing. And I'm sitting here editing it. I know my point I was trying to get across, but I think I kind of went like this, trying to get to the end point. So y'all follow along. Hopefully it makes sense to y'all, and let's go. So let's discuss the other elephant in the room, and that's DePin Projects. People are outright losing their minds on DePin right now. If you don't believe me, just go check Tech Hustler right now. This was his latest post. I guess another one thinking that the bull run's basically over with. This is him with his helium device. If you haven't seen these, you need to go check out his Twitter.
Well, you already know what happened. Now, I'm just going to say there will never be another helium HNT.
And he says he's still smashing miners. He's got 6 more miners to smash, then lighting them on fire. Who do we think's next?
Mine.
There's another one.
The skies, they say.
We still don't know if this is Fry. I'm hoping it's Fry, or this was Anacoy.
Just for reference, this is not GeoNet.
And this is also going along with the video I'm making. Look, I really respect Tech Hustler. He's helped me. Please don't think I'm knocking him. He's got a way bigger following than me. And the reason I bring this up is just because, I'm not the only one saying some of these things about DePin and that we worried about DePin. And he has been in a lot more DePin a lot longer than me. You got to excuse the language. If you don't like this language, you might want to fast forward about a little bit. If it offends you, I apologize.
But before I do, I wanted to drop some wisdom for you today. And today's wisdom is, I'm not trying to be negative, but altcoin season is not going to happen. And I wish it would. I really wish it would. I've been waiting for like 9 years, but after I've been this long in the game, I think I have finally realized that nobody cares about altcoins. Okay, there's a couple good ones out there, but you're probably not going to get rich. Your best bet is to play it safe, sell all that and just buy Bitcoin.
And that's kind of where we get now with this. And here he's saying that DePin's done.
Rich, and nobody cares. Nobody cares that you get butthole coin every time you take your rectal temperature. At this point, you have to be in it for the tech. DePin is you're no longer going to get rich, and cryptocurrency.
And here he is with MatchX, and we all know what happened with MatchX, and rightly so. This is one project that probably deserved to get smashed to pieces, the way that was handled. But any time you can put 3 stations next to each other on top of a garbage can, what did you expect? And one comment he makes is, Miss Teen Crypto is definitely not a teen anymore. No, in fact, she's 22 years old. Looks like she's sitting at a big ranch house or something like that. But let's keep going. So here's your Chia device. He smashed the hell out of it. Here's your Hive Mapper. Hey, I never got a Hive Mapper in. I canceled my order after waiting 6-8 months, and I wish I had one just to do this with. I have to say that. And there's another one he had, and here's the Demo Macaron that kind of started all off. So, where am I at with all that is DePin Projects. They do have two camps out there, and the two camps are basically split into, you're in it for the tech, and another one is, I want to get paid. And again, the camp that is I want to get paid is, there's multi levels of that camp, different floors of the tent of the campground, or whatever the hell cliche you want to use. Is, what are you looking for? I did a video that I put a little effort into, and I put a little time and effort into this one. This was almost an hour, which you don't expect, and I swear this is not the same shirt that I'm wearing back then. But have we become spoiled in crypto projects because we automatically expect Lambos? And you can see how many projects, majority of projects, I think I'm still all in right now. But one thing that that video did discuss was, what are we expecting realistically from DePin Projects? I find, people, again, I'm not trying to make this video too long, and I know I'm all over the place with this video so far. I'm hoping I can edit it into something manageable for y'all. But a lot of this is just talking some of y'all off the ledge. I'm going to say that despite most of y'all didn't watch the video or follow the advice, my claim to fame is that I was in helium very early, 20,000 or less subscribers. You couldn't get a helium device unless you bought one of the first gen models off of eBay. Me and my buddies went in together on it because we couldn't afford it by ourselves. We bought one device for $5,000. And once we installed it, I had to tell them how, because I knew about RF, and that's how I'd appeal to me in crypto. But I had to explain to them why you want the antenna outside to be able to hit more devices. And back then, around New Orleans, you only had 5 or 6 devices online. So you need that outdoor antenna, 8 dBi, big old, my buddy that lived in New Orleans, whose house we put it at. It's like, man, why the hell do we need a 5-foot antenna outside? And then once we started getting rewards, we were getting 20, between 17, 18, 20, 22 helium a day, worth several dollars a piece. We ROI'd in 17 days on a $5,000 device. And what I found is, but now you had 900,000 devices literally go online, and for some reason we're back down to 200,000 devices online, but yet we're still getting the rewards of 900,000 online. Somebody explain that to me. Again, that's not what this video is about. What this video is about is that I still think people are trying to expect in DePin projects today that they're going to get the $5,000 reward in 17 days thing. And realistically, not to hurt y'all's feelings, but in some DePin projects will never ROI. Welcome to Demo. Welcome to Demo. Demo, my rewards are going the opposite way. I've been in it for 7 months now, and I can't ROI on one $89 device. And that's facts. And I still think, looking at the DePin projects coming out these days, you're going to have more of those than you are going to have the heliums, by far. You have some projects that are kind of basically lone stars, like your Wingbits, where there's nobody else really doing it. Yeah, they got some new company that's out there trying to mimic a little bit. That we know that team is hustling. We know that they have customers already. Mainnet kind of got, pushed back a little bit. That we still have some hope in. But and y'all know, Wingbits is my number one project in my heart. That I'm pushing it hard. But I really think, realistically, if you make more than $1 or $2 per day, you're going to be lucky. Because the team will keep telling you over and over, you better be in it for the tech. And again, I'm being as positive can be. I'm just trying to realistically, because I know they got people out there who think that Wingbits is going to be this great thing. And I got a feeling, and I've said this several times, this is nothing new, but I still say I don't care what the rewards are. The rewards can be $5 a day, and you will have people crying out there. It could be $10 a day, and there'll be somebody saying we should be getting 25 a day, or this is, somebody we would be getting 10 or 25 a day if the hexes weren't the size they are, or y'all allowing stations put on top of each other. No matter what, this team, like I say, this team does not allow any price talk. They don't allow anything, and it doesn't matter. You're gonna have people heartbroken over what that device brings in revenue. I've heard some mention, I didn't see it for myself, but I heard some mention that one of the AMAs I missed, that Robin, who's in charge of Wingbits, even one time said their goal is to, hey, hopefully it would take about 6 months to ROI on a device. I'm sure that's just a regular Wingbits device. I think that's being generous. You know, that's putting it at about $2 a day. And I've told everybody, well, let me take that back. Majority of people keep asking me, you know, what do I think about Wingbits token? What do I think about Wingbits token? What would it be worth? And I say, hey, just look at CoinMarketCap. You look at other tokens that have, you know, the same token supply that Wingbits has, and you do an average somewhere between 0.005 on the low side, 2 cents on the high side, and people think I'm losing my mind. No, it's just you look at what other tokens are doing with that same market cap, and that's just a realistic side. You're not going to see a $1 Wingbits, and that's just the facts. Even if people think it's going to be the greatest project in the world and invest all kinds of money in it, if you have a $1 Wingbit with 10 billion supply, you're looking at eventually, you're looking at a top 10, 11 token. Does anybody in this room think Bitcoin can get that? I think, again, I'm going to say, I think it's going to be a extremely successful project. I wouldn't be putting my heart, soul, sweat, tears, heat stroke, and everything. I wouldn't have 15 stations up for myself, in addition to what I have up for my family and my friends and everything else, managing probably close to 40 stations between me, my friends, and my family and everything else, losing my mind, and the little bit of hair I have left over Wingbit Station if I didn't 1000% believe in it. But here we go again with, are you doing it for the project? Are you doing it because you believe in the project? Are you doing it for the tech? Or are you doing it for the income? If you missed my third Thursday night live or even my video earlier on Demo, I had Grumpy's Rules of Crypto. Yes, I finally came out with it. I kept telling you about rule number 6 and rule number 4, and I kept getting them confused myself. So here it is on paper. I want you in this video, pay attention to number 8. Project can be a success with the rewards suck for miners. I should just go ahead and put in parentheses, see Helium. Helium is a successful project. Y'all can say what y'all want, and I'll even say the rewards for miners suck. 32 cents a day if you're lucky on the IoT side. I have no idea what the mobile side, but I don't think it's much better. But the network is a success. You have people using the phones. You have people using the Wi-Fi devices. You have people using the IoT devices. That's a success. It's been around now for 5 years plus. Success. But you go ask any miner that who's not using the network itself, and that miner will tell you, and I'm sure I'll even get some comments underneath here, Helium is horrible. Helium sucks. Helium's ruined. Helium's a rug pull, whatever. But it's not. And then my point I'm getting at is you're going to find over the next year or two, there's going to be several DePin projects that come into number 8. Now, I'm not saying Wingbits is going to be one of them or GeoNet. Look at Demo. If Demo has people buying data, technically, Demo's on number 8. Silencio. We question Silencio all the time, but they swear they have people buying data. That's a number 8. But the problem is now you have to ask yourself, are you okay with getting in a DePin project that number 8 is going to happen? Because a lot of people, the whole part of being in DePin projects is, I want to be able to make some passive income, but not doing it by buying a $10,000 ASIC miner. Hey, I want to get early in this DePin project so that I don't have to put any kind of crazy, I'm taking a chip. Like we've always said with like my little chart I have on Mondays with all of our projects. I can tell you, I was trying to find some of my older videos. I've had to delete some and my older spreadsheets, but I couldn't keep them all in the same with the same tabs on the bottom because it was getting to be ridiculous. But one of them I found was like this one that had a whole bunch of testnet when you were testnet projects. But my point is, I was saying that you take the chances by getting in a lot of these testnet projects, hoping you can be early. And let's be honest, majority of them, that's when your most rewards are. You look at the Devos, you look at the Hive mappers, look at the GeoNets. Those projects have had better rewards, even whether exempt to a point, but had the better rewards really early in the beginning. And anybody getting into it now, they're not making anything. And for longevity, I don't know what that means for a project. A lot of people don't want to get into a project and have to go pay for devices and not make rewards. And even a lot of these projects now, people who are in junk, which is just a DePin meme coin that you mine with ESP32 device, they want $175 for a mining credential. That's at $100 a day. What you're making last I looked with that project. It's 175 days to ROI. You can't sell a single token, not a single token, because if not, you can't claim anymore till you replace it. And the only way to replace it is by either burning 4 times that amount, or you have to just buy the token back and put it back in your wallet, which makes no sense that you sold in the first place. If you're looking to get into, say, like a Soarchain, you buy $100 device almost, and at the rewards you're making 30 cents a day, just get comfortable. Demo, buying a $100 macaron, last I did the math, it's going to take close to 600 days to ROI on that, which is almost 2 years. That's crazy. So you almost have no choice now if you're getting in DePin projects, getting into it for the tech. But as a part of me, I still believe it's, for majority of people, it's passive income. That's the one key phrase we used to use a while back a lot. And y'all notice that if y'all watch my videos and pay attention, I don't seem to use that term as much, especially talking about certain projects, because to me, as soon as you're barely breaking even money, it's not passive income anymore. You're just keeping your head out the water. And as we said earlier in my demo video earlier, and I'll bring it up again right now, is that with demo, we're not in it for the tech. The tech doesn't work on half our apps. They want to charge us a subscription. So you're going to make $4 a month, pay a $2 a month subscription to make $2 for an app that doesn't even work. Who gets into that? That's why this dude is smashing his devices. That's why he's saying DePin ain't going to make any money, because you look at this list and tell me which one you're making a killing off of. Right now, Chirp's making $6 a day. They're trying to sell, they're purposely limiting the amount of Chirp Blackbirds you can buy. I argue all day with the gimmick way that they try to sell it, because they want to sell it with NFTs, which NFTs make it completely ripe and easy for people to then scalp them, because they just have to buy them with some money, then turn right back around and sell them, and they can scalp them for 25% to 50% additional cost. Where if they were selling the actual devices, people wouldn't take that chance, because then they have to physically ship it, they have to physically get it in. They're out of that money until they do that. But no, they continue down that route. So there's another gimmick. GeoNet. GeoNet is a damn good project. Great tech, is being used by a lot of people. But here they come. They're gonna kick their own selves in the testicles, and they got a halving coming up in 2 days. So your $4 a day went to $2 a day, and the price of the token has had a slow bleed. you're going to watch GeoNet on my list go down to 4 or 5 eventually, if not worse, if they don't do something to right that ship. Again, GeoNet is going to be a rule number 8 at some point, because project can be a success. The rewards are going to start sucking. Who's going to go buy a $700 GeoNet device when you're making $2 a day? That's a 350-day ROI. Who would do it? I have 2 places right now I would love to put GeoNet stations at. If you think I'm going to spend $600+ on a device, that's going to take me $300 ROI when we don't know if this bull market, if we even have an alt season, if the alt season only affects the boomer tokens, which are your major cap big tokens, or does it ever go to your smaller cap tokens? We don't know. And that's why you see why I led this video off with what I led it off with, because if we don't have an alt season, and that alt season doesn't eventually affect your Ethereums, your Avalanches, your Solanas, and that doesn't then filter down into those actual tokens on those chains, we might not have the big recovery like that a lot of us hope. Because you see people make that comment in these discords. Oh, you don't have to worry about, like, you can't go around tell people that with demo you're only going to make 21 cents a day or 18 cents a day, because if they could ever fix the token or the token goes up in the bull market, they'll be making more. You're right. That's a lot of big ifs in a single sentence. You know, you can go back and look at this, and I'm trying not to piss my friends off here, because I feel like I have friends in these projects. But even Entropy, you're mining nothing. But let's all be honest here. We're not mining nothing. We're mining Entropy because we believe in the project. We think it's a cool, fun project to be in. I love the team. I love the energy of the team. I love being a part of the Discord and their X and all that stuff like that. It's a cool, fun group to be around. A little childish sometimes, but, you know, it is what it is. I'd rather that than some of these Discords that are completely dead and you don't know if the project's alive or not. But again, same thing. It's almost like they're teasing you. It's like a beautiful, like if you're a guy, a straight heterosexual guy, and single, not married, that there's this beautiful blonde or brunette if you're into that thing, or Asian if you're into that thing, you know, or whatever, model with a beautiful body on the other side of this window that you can't touch. Or if you're a woman, they got, you know, whatever y'all are into with a guy, Aquaman or whatever, that all the women go crazy over, The Rock or whoever, on the other side of this glass, and y'all can't touch it. That's what Entropy is right now. Entropy, we're making $10 and $15, $20 a day mining, but don't you freaking touch it, because if you touch it, you're booted. So basically, what, like, you know, this all boils down to, you know, I guess I'm trying to say one thing is, are the days of passive income over with? What can we really expect from free projects? I used to always say also in my videos that we're in a bunch of projects making a little bit here, 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 that aren't that hard to run or maintain, because this little bit, when you put that all in the bowl, you then have this much money. You know, there's not a single project out there that's going to give you this much money, but you're going to get this much, and you're going to get this much, and you're going to get this much and this much. And then eventually, you know, I just think we're at a point that if you want to get into a DePin project, you got to get into it because you somewhat think it's interesting. Do not get in a project these days thinking you're going to do it for the money. Tech Hustle is right to a point. Now, I'm not going to say the DePin's over with or it's effed like he's saying. I don't agree with it that much, because I think there's a lot of DePin projects. But there's also, you know, one of the grumpy rules that DePin people know business, and business people don't know how to run a crypto project. And to a point, what I mean is that you have some DePin projects out there that are really useful and can be useful. That doesn't mean it's going to pay out in your pocket worth a damn either. And there's some projects that ain't worth a damn that, you know, in real life, but at first they're going to be paying pretty well. You know, another thing is like the amount of DePin projects coming out today. I got approached, and I've been wanting to do a video for y'all because it sounds like a cool project, and they've supported the channel and stuff, but they're just a reciprocate of another subject that there's three other projects for. I'm like, tell me why this project, ABC Wi-Fi, I'm gonna call them. Tell me why y'all are different from XYZ Wi-Fi and XNet and Helium and every other one that wants me to put a Wi-Fi device inside of a coffee shop. Tell me what makes y'all different. And nobody can. I got people saying, hey, so-and-so is coming out with its miner. They're going to make, I think you need it covered. Okay, tell me why. Because as soon as I do that video, and look, I've been wanting to do that video for 3 days now, but I already know the comments. When I do that video, even though I read about it, I read about the team, I read about what they're about, they seem pretty legit. I feel like I need to do a video, but I know what the first comment's going to be is, why should I get in that when I'm already in XNet or Helium or whatever other devices out there that Wayru that's already got me putting a Wi-Fi device inside of a coffee shop. This is project number 5. Why? Why should I invest in number 5 when the first 4 didn't work? And how do you answer that? I'm looking through Helium Deploy for a certain thing, and I know some of y'all know about this. We're all adults here. But now I'm going to ask my wife, hey, you want to go to the bedroom and make some crypto? I mean, this is wild. Like, I've heard stories about this, but I didn't even know this existed. But now I go on XXX websites and tell people to use my code and go buy this sex toy from Helium Deploy and make some crypto. Like, hell, the thing sold out. I don't know if it ever was for sale. The Allure of Forbidden Fruit X. I guess there's a whole Adam and Eve thing to it. I don't know. I don't know what this. Oh, this pays Eden tokens, and you can't find nothing about that. That's Helium Deploy has it. I can't find out about the token. There's about 2,000 tokens named Eden. You go to the website and it's a mess. And I'm using the Helium Deploy as just an example. Nothing against them. I'm not going to have a very good relationship with them. I want to say that first. I'm using it just because they are a centralized place that has a lot of different DePin stuff that you might be looking for. And it goes to show you that there are a lot of the same devices out there, just with different names on them. The Demos, the Soarchains. You have the Nubla Marcos that look just like the Sky X miners, Quake Core, and it's just, here's the Wayru stuff, like I was talking about. And you have Deeper, another Wayru. Let's see what else. Then you got the watches. Then you got the other watches and gold shells and cannons and oh man, Fry, Fry covered everything. Fry covered everything from sound to air. And part of it is, if you have 3 different weather projects out there, how do you really need a 4th one to come out? So, do I think DePin is dead? No, absolutely not. I think they have a lot more exciting things coming out with DePin. Hey, I'm basing, my whole channel is basically based off DePin projects. You definitely don't come to me for the TA of I didn't say T and A like those toys, TA of what we see in some of these charts. You're not coming to me for that. I'm covering DePin type stuff. I have the DePin type stuff. I have DePin stuff that I paid for. I can't show you the Weather XM, but I got, the Ashlers and the Demo Macarons and the 7 different ESP32 devices. I got, Wingbits DIY devices. This is my sister's. I'm trying to get back running for her. I'm into the projects. I have also understood that there are some of these projects that I am in that I'm not going to be able to ever cash out. I have completely, and I am the kind of person that instead of cashing out right now at a loss, I'm willing to take a chance because I'm not dying for the money. I'm not eating ramen noodles every night or ice with ketchup on it or anything like that, like some people joke about, yeah, I got some bills due. If y'all have heard any of my videos, but I don't complain about that stuff no more because I start getting attacked in Discord and made fun of and stuff and bullied about it because as if, I'm the only one with bills. But I'm a YouTuber, so I shouldn't be complaining about that because I'm a YouTuber. I got all this money flowing in. People, it goes to show me also that people have no idea I don't even consider myself an influencer. I'm a joke. I tend to tell people and bring information to people, and that's what I do. And I try to make it on a more personal level like this. I felt it's worked to a point, and people seem to like this channel because of that reason. And I'm gonna continue to bring it to you like that. But I have recognized that there are some projects that I'm in right now that I'm still hustling in. I went on vacation a week or two ago to New York, and I ran Silencio all day, every day, where some of y'all are going to sit there and say, what WTF is he thinking? Because this stupid raffle ticket thing, it's worthless. And you're right. But I still have the hope that the right to ship, or even if I make a whole bunch of tokens every month that ain't worth nothing, at some point at the end of the year, beginning of the next year, or at some point they become worth something. Same thing with Nadix. Nadix has been paying nothing, but I keep running it. Wingbits, I have the hope that it's going to do well, but what I consider well and what certain people in my own Discord consider well are two different levels. I'm telling you, I can read it, I can see it when they're complaining already about certain things, and we are still 2 months away from mainnet. I know that writing on the wall. It doesn't matter what that token's going to be worth. It doesn't matter. They're already complaining about, even though, and I keep using Wingbits because it's a project that I'm very familiar with and I see what the comments are. But even though Wingbits has basically built their tokenomics white paper off of several different projects, including GeoNet, which we all think is a huge success, and several other projects, the same token supply, the same splits between investors and the team who have to pay the bills and what they're paying miners and stuff. You still have people out there complaining. I can't believe they're doing that. XNet or any of these other weather ones, tell me why that's going to do better. Why are people going to invest in this one, not this one? Whether it's the team, I don't know. I know I'm rambling at this point, but I'm just trying to make sure I get my point across that DePin, you better be in it for the tech because you're interested in the tech, or you have the hope that you might make a little bit of money. But I just don't think you're ever going to see a DePin project where you make Lambo type money, or I joke all the time about boat type money. I say I can't fit in a Lambo, and I have not made it a secret of what my plans are for crypto in the long run or for my DePin projects is. I just want to live comfortably with my family. I want to be able to go out to eat or go on vacation with my family and not have to worry about what's in my checkbook. I'm not talking about living large. I'm not talking about living and giving everybody new free cars. I'm not talking about that. If I can take, I told you all this Monday, if you watched my video, I think it was Monday, if I can take some of my income from what I'm making on a DePin project or several DePin projects and pay off one loan from Hurricane Ida, that we had to take out to fix our house because insurance didn't cover it all. If I can take care of that loan, well, that's $350 a month that I'm taking out of my expenses. I can take that $350 and double that up with another loan or car note or something like that, pay that off sooner, along with that also income coming in from crypto devices, miners, DePin projects, and pay off that loan. Then take both of those original payments and snowball that into something else. And that's my plan for life. And that's it. And if I get anything more than that, I'm blessed. But I think we need to have this realistic thinking of what you're going to make in DePin projects. And maybe some people just need to say, I'm done with DePin projects. I need to just take my money, and when I get paid or whatever way you're bringing in that money, put it into Bitcoin and call it a day. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, AVAX, looking at both these guys I just watched, both of them kind of had the same idea with the same 4 or 5. It's funny that you find these 2 or 3 different people I watched today, and they all kind of have that same sentiment. Bitcoin, Ethereum, AVAX, Solana, HBAR, and even Cardano. I hate to tell y'all. Look, I know that this video was way haywire. I had the idea in my head, hey, I've been seeing a lot of this negative talk about DePin projects and alt seeds and stuff like that, and I wanted to address it. I just did probably a video, probably 30, 40 minutes long, and I don't feel I addressed anything. I hope I kind of got across to y'all kind of what my head is. I'm planning on doing an AMA again soon with a couple of different people, kind of getting their idea of what Bitcoin's looking like for the future, altcoins looking like for the future, here or there, and maybe they'll have some better. I'm gonna keep watching some of these videos and see what they say, so maybe we can get a better idea and wrap our head around, is there gonna be a type of alt season or something like that? You know, mining, no matter if it's a DePin project, which, you know, some of us, they don't want to call it mining, you know, whatever you want to call it, participating, contributing. Some people believe that that's dead. Mining as a whole is dead. I've truly believed that when I shut down GPUs for Ethereum, hell, that had to be 3 years ago. I think 3 years ago. That was it. Because anybody getting into ASICs these days, and you're paying any kind of ASIC that's paying a decent reward, you're looking at 5, 10, 15 grand for an ASIC. By the time you get close to ROI, the difficulty has gotten so high you can barely ROI. So is that dead also? At least for the individual person like us. There's a part of me that I feel like that. Now, tomorrow I could wake up and be completely different. I don't know. But again, with the DePin, do it because you want to do it. Do it because, hey, I'm interested in this project. Maybe gambling a little bit. Hey, I'm gonna be early, hoping I can get my original income. But, you know, I mean, I'll get some decent income because I'm new. But we all know we're taking the chance of these new projects that they just fizzle out to be nothing. And I'll still say, once they've been established for a while, you better be in it for the tech. And who knows? Wingbits or some of these other ones could prove us completely wrong. I also have another saying: when we think Bitcoin's going to zig or the crypto market's going to zig, it's going to zag. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Either way, we're going to keep pumping along. I'm going to keep running my DePin projects. Even though I decided with this video and settle this, I'm going to keep running my DePin projects. I'm going to keep DCAing. What am I going to DCA in? I really don't know at this point. You would have asked me yesterday before I sat here and watched videos for hours. I told you I'm DCAing into Bitcoin and nothing else. Listen to these guys. I might continue putting into my AVAX, my VET, and Solana. I got a new project I'm looking at right now that just joined the Peak network. It's very, 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 very new. But again, it's also a copycat of 7 other projects out there. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Just stay tuned. Keep watching videos. I hope everybody does well. It's hot as hell out here. It's about 95 degrees even here at night. It is stupid. I'm looking at right now my trusty Weather XM thermometer, which says it's got 93% humidity out here right now. In other words, you go outside and you just instantly sweat and stick to your clothes. And it's 9:30 at night. So thanks for watching. We'll see how everything goes from here. Keep your heads up. Keep pumping along. You know, if you're already mining something, there's no reason to stop unless it's costing you a lot of money to keep mining it. And let's just keep pushing along and see what happens. Thank you all for watching, and see you all next video. Make sure you hit the like button.